Hello everybody, welcome back to another Minecraft episode here on Truly Bedrock. I'm your host BJ, and I hope you are having a great day. That was a terrible landing. That's what happens when you're doing it in F5. But I had to start it that way because I'm specifically having a problem. I have an issue I need some help with. You see this right here? I got 42 firework rockets. That's hard to say. That's it 5 times fast. Left in my inventory. And the reality is I don't actually have that much more. I do have some more up here in my rocket box. Let's go take a quick look. But it's getting low, and it's a problem. It's a problem I need to solve immediately. I've only got a little stacking a little bit left over. And then of course I have the stuff I need to make rockets with, but that is also getting low. But the reason I wanted to come up here and show you this is important. So I can go buy gunpowder, and I'm going to go over to the shopping district, and we're going to look at some of the prices for the gunpowder and why I think it's time for me to build my own gunpowder sources. But same for the sugarcane and all the components I need. And then this is also very useful for something else that I need, known as TNT, because I have a lot of stuff I need to blow up. But one of the things I'm realizing, this is sort of this weird little onion that you unwrap. Oh, by the way, I've been doing some work here in the base area. I got some buildings that are more or less finished here. I've been working on the wall. Got some other buildings sort of laid out here. Been expanding this one right here, and got all the rest of these sort of fixed up. Got all the cobwebs taken out, things like that. Got myself a new portal building, and then we're gonna go over here in just a second and show you some of the other buildings we're going to be working on. But this is actually a really interesting illustrative point here. I need lots of building materials, and even for the creation of a creeper farm and the sugarcane farm, I need more building materials than I'm getting out of mining down there. So one of the things I want to do is I want to build a cobblestone generator. And then, of course, with that cobblestone generator, I need to be able to smelt it. And not only just as a smeltery, kind of a blacksmithy kind of a thing, we also want to be able to use that for XP farms. We do have a pretty decent furnace XP farm that Lee and some other folks set up to do the nether stuff, but I need one of my own. And so I actually need to build 2 different furnace arrays. And this is going to be the spot. I've already picked it out. We're going to be building a giant blacksmith building here that's going to include at least one of the smelters, if not both of them. I still have to do a little bit of layout underneath it to make sure that I get it all fit in perfectly. But this is where it's going to be going. We'll probably also do the cobblestone generator over here. Maybe not as part of the building. Maybe we'll do that as another small building off to the side. But what that's going to do is that's going to give me all the materials that I need to get started on building my creeper farm and my other farm. And then we're going to be doing a big veggie farm right here. This will be all veggies and melons. Will be a big building right here. It'll all be indoors. And then we have our little villager center here. That's where all the villagers are going to be going. And then we have my enchanting building right here. I had to move it over here. Ooh, almost got the chicken. Watch out, buddy. I had to move it over here because I ripped out my skeleton spawner rooms. The skeleton spawners are still there. I just completely tore down the entire farm, and I'm rebuilding it. Same thing with the spider farm. I tore out the trident killer component, and I'm rebuilding that better and stronger and faster. Like it's the $6 million man. I don't know. Anyway, so what we need to do is let's go over to the shopping district, and I'm going to show you what my problem is with our current firework rocket situation here on the server. Let's start off here at the what's this called? This is the rocket building, the Moonbreaker rocket shop that has been the vast majority, I think, of the rockets for the people on the server thus far. And now it's been a couple weeks since I've been in here, but 1 diamond for 3 stacks, that's a pretty good price. I'm going to show you why that's a good price here in just a minute, but the problem is it's always empty, and there's no, it's been empty for a while now. And granted, Slack and Foxy have other things to be working on. In particular, Foxy's been working on his all mall over here, which coincidentally does actually have a shop for the sale of rocket goods. Well, for some of them anyway. He has this little shop here that's called the Mob Bits that does have gunpowder for sale. Hello, sir. Don't bother me. And the interesting thing about this mall is that every slot in all the stores, regardless of what the store is, whatever's in the slot is 1 diamond. So what that turns out to be is you got 1 diamond for gunpowder, and I would need at least 1 diamond probably for sugarcane, although I haven't found any for sale here yet. That might be one of the stores I can make. I can make a sugarcane store perhaps. So that would be like probably 64 sugarcane for 1 diamond, 1 thing of gunpowder for 1 diamond. That would give me enough for 3 stacks for 2 diamonds. So as you can see, it's more expensive, and I don't want to pay more than that. That I got used to paying 1 diamond for 3 stacks. I don't, just like typical mall, you go into a mall, everything's slightly overpriced, and if you get it from an independent seller, which makes some sense. But let's go look at, there's one other source that I might be able to get it at here. One of the things that I've decided to work on over here, and this has been mostly a stream thing, and a little bit kind of on the weekends and evenings and things like that when I'm working on it. I had a portal that was up here. I think a lot of you have probably seen this in videos, and you've certainly, if you've been on with me on Twitch as I've been streaming, you saw me dig this out and build the vast majority of this. Some of it was built off camera, and move the portal down here. In fact, I need to make this a little bit bigger. It's a little, I ran out of obsidian. I need to expand that just a hair. But I built all this, and I started digging out tunnels. This tunnel goes down to Gary, the snail down there, and then this tunnel goes down to Tiz's, has a, what do you call that, trapdoor shop that goes that way. This goes down to the All Mall, and I'm going to continue building this out and finishing it. You can see it starting to take shape in here, but the idea is there's also going to be like waterfalls and little interesting things like that. This goes over to Beardstone, has a couple of businesses that are over that side. In fact, that's where we're going to go in 1 second, but I thought I'd show you this too. This is Liara's, she had a spawner that she found at the very beginning of the game. It's a skeleton spawner, and I think I might try to do something really interesting in here that turns this into sort of a decoration, but kind of also, I guess, functional decoration, I guess. And then here in Beardstone store, he has this interesting idea. I thought this was actually really pretty clever. He has 3 different tiers in this store of boxes that you can buy. You get the shulker and whatever is inside of them for depending which tier. And so 1 tier equals 1 block of diamond. So 9 diamonds for a shulker, and whatever else is inside of it. It seems pretty reasonable considering shulkers are about 4 diamonds, depending on where you get them at. So that's 5 diamonds for everything that's inside of it. Seems like a pretty good deal, but I thought I would show you this really quick. We have a couple of boxes. He's got a tier 3 over here, which means 3 diamond blocks of gunpowder. So that would be 1 diamond for each slot, which is the same price that we saw over at the All Mall. The difference is of course, we get the shulker with it. So technically that's a better deal than we have at the mall, which is very tempting, but I think I can do better. And then we have this tier 2 box of flight. So this is 18 diamonds, and you get quite a few of them in there, plus a couple of shulker heads, which, who cares, whatever. Those are going in the lava. But you also get an elytra, which can also be like 8 or 9 diamonds. So overall, this is actually also probably a pretty good deal, but I go through rockets a lot, man. And Beardstone kind of does these whenever he has a chance to do them, and they kind of switch around, they change kind of depending, like sugarcane's already gone, tier 2. So that would be 2 blocks of diamonds for a box of sugarcane, which I think we can do better than that as well. So all in all, the prices aren't that bad. The problem is I'm a cheapskate and I don't want to pay the prices. So I guess the only thing I can really do is go and start building all the farms that I need to make all these things. So let's go back to the base and let's get started. The first thing we have to do is we have to clear this thing out. So let's get all these trees out of the way. We're going to bring the grade down and dig ourselves a nice big hole in the ground. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna have to move this building. But that's all right. We can move this one. It's not a big deal. In fact, I want to consolidate some of these buildings kind of back over in this area anyway. So it's not a big deal. This is gonna have to get moved. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Oh, block lag is a real thing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I need to go down 7, 8. That should be enough, I think. And now we have a big hole in the ground, which is exactly what we needed, I suppose. You guys watched me build, first excavate out and then build in all the walls. And then I came back and started looking at it a little bit after that was done and realized I needed to make sure that this part was chunk aligned. So I figured out where the chunk was, which is this block right here is on the corner. And then this direction, which is north and east, I believe, is the direction of the chunk. So I probably could fit it in here, but it would be kind of a tight fit. And since this is underground and no one's really going to see it, it doesn't really matter too much. I decided to go ahead and dig out in this direction. And this is going to make a couple of things a little bit easier. Number one, I'm going to be able to have my chests in the floor. I can just drop my goods into that, and that will automatically come down into the smeltery and get output on the bottom of it. Eventually, I could probably grab where it comes out on the bottom, which is going to be like right in here somewhere, and move it over to an elevator and take it up over there. It'd be pretty easy to do. And then right here is where I think I'm going to build. I got to excavate out back in there is where the cobblestone generator is going to go, and then all the cobblestone that comes out of that can come directly into my smelter. And so I think that is going to work quite well, actually. Looking forward to actually working on that and getting that built. So the first thing I need to do is tear this down and put it into a chest for a future build. So it's gone. The magic of editing. It works pretty well. But anyway, we took down the house and we brought it over here and put it into this chest, which we have all the parts for it. A couple of extra we'll need because there was 8 cobwebs still in it. And we'll build it here right next to this one. We'll combine them together in kind of an interesting, maybe like a duplex or something like that. So our little villagers have a duplex here, and then maybe build a porch out in front of it, and then move this road out over a little bit. I have some room to move it out, and so I think we'll do that. Reorganize this a little bit, fix this one up. Actually, I think I'm gonna tear this one down and put a different building here yet. I haven't decided. We will have to see. But now let's go ahead and get started on this guy. I grabbed a couple of stones so that we can kind of lay out some of these pieces. This is going to be an open air area. So this is going to be like the hearth for the blacksmith. And this is where the fires will go down in there. I'll have a bunch of iron and things sitting out in here. And then we'll go into here. And this is going to be probably a dirt floor with a bunch of like storage stuff in here that a blacksmith would use on this first floor. And then we'll have 2-3 stories above it for living quarters. And so this will be enclosed. This will be open. We'll have people so you can kind of come in as a blacksmith and come in and wander around. We'll have a bunch of decorations and stuff outside. This will be a cool building. I've done a little bit of work in creative for what this is going to look like. It'll have kind of opposing gable roofs. It's going to look cool. I'm looking actually pretty forward to this. Before we get started on that, let's go down and build the smelter together. Let me get the materials first. I'll stuff this in here. Okay, so what we need is a couple of chests. And I don't need my trap chest right now. I'm going to need those eventually, maybe. And I want to go ahead and set this. I need my hoppers. I got that one. So it needs to be 4, 5 back. I think I can do this right here. This might be one block too far out, but it's not going to hurt anything. It's actually, if it's a block out, it'll just give me a little bit more room behind it. Then we have a hopper that goes into here, a hopper that goes into there. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Goodbye, Mr. Braidstone. Have a good evening. And then we need some furnaces that are going to be going on top of those. We want to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually, I might have to dig this down just so I can see that they're working. And the other thing I want to do too is I want to be able to turn these off and on. Although these aren't going to be my XP furnaces, so maybe that doesn't matter. And then we need hoppers going into either one of these like that. And what's really cool about hopper minecarts is that it will allow you to distribute 2 hopper minecarts into 8 individual. So we just need these to be hoppers. 8 individual hoppers. And that's a pretty cool mechanic. I'm assuming you guys have seen this before, but just in case you haven't, this is the way I always get them centered on here. So you do this, and then you get your rail out. Got a hopper minecart. Go ahead and put 1 down with a hopper minecart on top of it. And then it's a little hard to see this sometimes. You got to get in here to get just the right elevation to break. There we go. The rail. So that it'll drop down. And then you just kind of push it back in the corner here. You need to get it square. So it's going to take a little bit of finagling. There we go. Boom, just like that. That's okay. It doesn't matter if it turns that way or not. Although I think I'm going to go ahead and try and get it so it turns the other way if it'll let me. I don't think it really matters. There we go, back in that corner. Then we put the other one right here. And again, this is really hard to reach this just right. There we go. Oh. What did I do with those rails? Did I put them in here? I'm not sure where those rails went. Okay, they're in here because they can't go into the hoppers. All right, let's get this one shoved over in the corner here. Nope, you stay there. Oh, you're getting a little bit janky on me. There we go. There you go. It didn't take that much. It just took a little bit. And then you break these guys off like this, and now they're centered. This should work perfectly. But now you got to be really careful not to move them. So let's grab a couple of these guys just to make sure I don't... This is only temporary because I'll have to pull those off so that we can feed stuff down into them. We just need this temporarily so I can place the chests above it. Grab a couple of chests out of here. One, two. And now we can do, let's take something that's got, we'll do 8. So you can drop this more in here. You saw how quickly that went. Now we should have one individual ingot in each one of these hoppers. And it looks like it did all of its distribution really well. That is a great way to check it. And you can tear this down because now we have the rail in there, or we have the chest in the right location. You still need to be super careful though. Now we're going to go ahead and put the hoppers on top of these and lock them in. So this will help kind of lock everything in place. That way you don't have to worry about knocking those guys out of the way. And then you'll actually need to do this 2 layers high. So we need more. I'm using up all of my hoppers. This is terrible. Hoppers are expensive. Although I've got tons and tons of iron, so it doesn't really matter very much. Oh man. All right. There we go. There's 8. And now you can actually go ahead and use hoppers again if you want to, but it's a little bit overkill. You can also use chests, or you can use barrels. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to do barrels. And then you just start placing the barrels on top of the hoppers. And this will complete the circuit for the rest of the part that we're going to do here in just a minute. Let's get all these guys on here first. Try not and ruin that. And I need to make sure I set them in the right orientation here, just because that's the way I need it to be. And then you go ahead and place your hoppers in, just like we did down below. And we're essentially building a second layer of the same thing. This upper layer is going to be controlling what we're smelting. And then that lower layer is the fuel. So that's all we really needed to do to make this thing work. So let's use the same technique we used down below, where we used those guys. And then we use rail to help set our hopper minecarts. Ooh, this is going to be a little bit more difficult. Do I have any half slabs? I don't know. Do I? Looks like I've got a couple of spruce for some reason. Let's put that down there. Is that going to let me get down there at the right angle? Let's put one just a little bit lower. There you go. That's a good example of what you need to do to kind of get down at the level. Ooh, see, you got to be super careful and make sure to just hit the rails. It's kind of hard to do, but you can do it. All right. We got the first one set. Now let's do the second one. Like that. All right. I can see the edge. Okay, that's good. Now hopefully this goes a little bit smoother than the last one. Let's hope. Okay, don't go too far. We're gonna separate them apart. And there we go. Just that easy. Now let's go ahead and break all these fences off. And then we'll do the same thing that we did down below. We need a couple of just regular old blocks. And then we need, see if I can reach it. I can. A couple of more chests. And actually, I'm going to need a little bit more block. Let's see if I'm kind of storing some block down in here whilst we're working. Get that on there. Need a little extra now to get up high enough. Go ahead and put 2 on here. We can block it out. Now, again, I'm going to be super careful that I don't disturb those carts up there. So I'm going to be placing some extra blocks here just to make extra sure. Be a little bit extra careful. Place the 2 chests on there, and then because we're done here, go ahead and surround this just to kind of make it a little bit safer. You don't need these here. We might put some back. I don't know yet. We'll see. And then close off the end right here. Oh, I just ran out of enough. That's okay. I'll come back and take care of that. And now that this is in place, this is actually fully functional. I just need to go get some fuel. And then I have kind of a design that I'm going to finish off the end of this so that I can stand. I'm actually going to be down half a block right here. I'll be able to hit this and then select that and then reach up and select the other one. So, oh, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to be up half a block. That's what it's going to be. And then I'll be able to select all 3 of the chests, the fuel, the input chest, and the output chest, all from one location. And this thing is functional. So let's go ahead and go get some fuel. I think I'm going to use lava for this. And then do a little bit of finishing up in here, because we definitely need to get this thing working as soon as possible. And the smelter is donezo. It is working. As you can see, I spent a little bit of time decorating. I couldn't help myself. I have to do some sometimes, even though I shouldn't be doing it yet. I had to go ahead and do it. But the one reason I wanted to do that was because I wanted to make sure this was exactly set where I wanted it to. And the end result is that I had to raise up the whole thing 2 blocks up and then 2 blocks this direction to be able to get it to fit in right here. As you kind of remember, it was down a little bit low and it was kind of tucked back underneath here, and it didn't work very well. So I needed to get it up here so that I could have my my smelting chest right there, and now that works really well. So let's see if we can get down here. First try, amazing. As you can see, this is a little bit higher than where it was, but it's working really great. Now I can come and I can stand right here. I have access to the smelted chest. I have the fuel chest right there, and I can squeeze right into the stuff I need to smelt chest, or I can access it from the top. As a quick test, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, rather than, well, actually, I have enough. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in there and let it load. So that's 64 plus a little bit. This should be enough to have 9 per furnace. Let's see how quickly this thing loads. We'll drop that in there. There it goes. I love how fast this thing is. Get enough time to get all it. Look at that, 9 of them are already in there. Man, that is fast. I was going to do that by hand just to make my life easier, and that was a mistake. I didn't need to do it by hand. So we go ahead and drop that. And what I did is I went ahead and got 8 stacks of raw beef. And let's go ahead and just drop this guy in here. You can see how quickly that thing is distributing to all the furnaces. And one of the challenges with the way that this furnace system works is you really have to do it like this every time. Like, I can't just come in here and drop like 2 things in, or it'll do some weirdness with the furnace. It might drop the stuff that needs to be smelted on into a furnace that doesn't need to actually, or doesn't have any fuel in it or something like that. So this really is for mass smelting. It's not for quick stuff. I have a quick smelter over at my base area, or over at the main building that I have, but this is for big stuff, and that's the way it's going to have to be. All right, let's see how this thing's doing. So I already through half a stack. You can see it kind of drops 8 in a chunk, so this one should go to 48 after a few seconds here. Pretty quickly. There we go, up to 48. Yep, so it does 8 at a time, exactly like you would expect it to. So this should go pretty quickly, and we'll see how this thing's going. But I just checked my time on my episode, and this is already at my time limit. So I was going to go ahead and build the structure, or at least the framework of the structure in this episode. But if I did that, I think it would go too long. And so what we're going to do is next episode, we are going to concentrate on building the blacksmith shop here. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for this one, actually. I'm sorry I've been gone a little bit. Been a little bit busy in real life. Those kinds of things happen sometimes. But we will be getting our videos back onto our normal schedule. And if you didn't know, I stream pretty frequently over on Twitch. That's actually how I've gotten a lot of the work done on my base over the last month or so. And sometimes that could be a little sporadic as well. But I've been streaming a lot more. So go check me out on Twitch. If you're not following me over there, twitch.tv/bjaydubya. And come catch me on a stream. I'd really would enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will see you in the next episode. We will be working on the blacksmith shop, of course. And the other thing we're going to work on next episode is a death machine. Because as you guys may have noticed, as I was going through the menus, I've only got 55 deaths right now, and the leader's at 105, and I want to catch up. So I need to figure out a nice death machine to get me up into the hundreds of deaths, because I got to win something this season. It might as well be the death race. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please, give me a thumbs up. That thumbs up really helps. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. And we will see you guys in the next episode here from Truly Bedrock. Bye-bye.